Welcome to CSBN. My name is Sophia Youngs.
This is Amelia Howell.
And we're going to be bringing you guys something a little bit special today. We want to do our first ever SCIAC coverage. Now, this is going to go over pretty much all the sports here in the SCIAC region. And I think let's just get right into it. I don't want to be wasting any time. We only have 10, 12 minutes.
Yeah, a lot to go over today.
I think ultimately,
it's been a great week.
It's been a hot week.
That's
it's Halloween.
An understatement. Yep.
I'm ready for November. And you know what? I'm ready for Christmas. But I want to get into a story that a lot of people like to call the Cinderella story. And that is none other than Chapman's football team. I mean, we started off on a real rocky footing.
3-game losing streak.
Yeah, and what I noticed, we were not playing badly in the first half. Usually, honestly, typically, Chapman football played fairly well.
Yeah.
We'd usually start out with a fairly strong lead. However, going into that third quarter,
completely different game,
seemingly completely different playing style. I'm noticing the same plays happening multiple times.
Just not on the same page.
And when Espinoza was still quarterback, you could tell he was frustrated. He's like, Coach, give me something different.
Right.
Give me something unique. Give me something special. And it almost never happened. And that ultimately is what led to Chapman starting off very weakly this season.
Yeah.
However,
what turned us around, though? Oh, yeah. We were on a 0-3 loss streak. And then that game against 4-0 CMS turned us around. It was an amazing win. Not expected, not quite expected, but definitely grateful for it.
Exactly.
And it's got us on a 4-game win streak ever since.
And one player especially, sophomore linebacker Kyle Saban, I mean, he is
amazing,
scarily good. Especially, you were talk a little bit about that one play on the 1-yard line a little bit.
Yeah, so he assisted the game-defining tackle. It was 4th down at the 1-yard line as we claimed a second win over CMS this past week. It was a great play. We like to call it the Cinderella play.
Oh, the Cinderella play. Well, and if any of you guys were watching, the crowd went wild, and I think
as they should.
Exactly. And I think that play in particular ultimately not only led Chapman to increase their playing significantly, but also just honestly spirits. And it seemed like going into this season, we kind of had all the cards against us. You know, we had injuries on both offense and defense. Espinoza got an injury at an away game, leg injury that has him out for the rest of the season. We get our second string quarterback, he gets injured. Right now we're on our third string quarterback, and we're still playing excellently. And I feel like that's what ultimately leads to how the team now qualifies for the inaugural SCIAC championship.
Yeah, it's amazing. And as we go into this next week against 0-5 Laverne, which I think we've got in the bag personally. I don't know about you. Yeah.
I mean, people always like a good underdog story, but I don't. I think that Chapman has a really good chance here. Ultimately, anything can happen, but if we keep on playing how we have in the past few games, Chapman has a good chance of taking this win.
Yeah.
And I think even though we have still injuries on both sides, we're on our third string quarterback, we're still playing consistently, and especially using those unique plays, especially going into the third and fourth quarter, that is what gives Chapman that killer edge and killer instincts.
Absolutely.
The team is communicating, the coach is communicating,
and ultimately consistent.
Everyone watching, they want to see a good game, and right now Chapman is delivering that.
Oh yeah, and I think we can expect similar performance from Saban. And, you know, I just think with how much adversity Chapman has faced this season from the beginning, Alex Tariquez on the defense didn't start the season until his third game. We had injured players on both sides. We've got that grit to get this in the bag.
I agree.
All right, let's throw it up to Pomona. The Sagehens just won their 3rd straight SCIAC men's cross-country championship, and it was senior Lucas Flourishim that was first of 5 scores at this Riverside City cross-county course. He was also one of only 2 runners to score below 25 minutes, and his time was 24:44.3. Isn't that amazing?
And that's what, 8 kilometers?
Yes, on the 8-kilometer course. I know. I'm not a runner personally.
No, I can't. I used to be a runner way back in the day of 6th grade.
Good for you.
But I know, but not anymore. That is one of 2 runners out of every single person in the competition,
and only 5 scorers.
Crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yep. And this was in preview of the NCAA West Regional Championship. The Pomona Pitzers came in first with a total of 23 points, and that was a big lead. At second place, we had the Claremont Mudscripts with 61 points.
Oh, wow.
I know. Crazy margin.
So it's not even like it was really a close game at all. Like, kind of going in, Pitzer was Pitzer was going to take that win. I mean, especially like 3 years in a row.
That's consistency.
Twice could be a coincidence, but ultimately 3. That I feel like that really shows off the skill that these runners truly have.
Gotta hand it to them.
Especially what you were saying with Lucas, like one of 2 runners out of any other person that ran.
Right.
That's insane.
Crazy. That under 25 is crazy. And then it was his teammates Derek Fearon in 3rd place, Cameron Hattler in 4th place, and Jack Stein in 7th place that helped them get those 23 points for the 1st place lead.
So in other words, they were killing it.
They were on top of it, yeah.
And then,
absolutely.
I mean, we had those other players, in like 4th, like 6th, but like ultimately, I feel like Pitzer, they knew going in, they were at least going to place very high, but ultimately going for that 3-year win streak. Yeah. My goodness.
And you can even go to say that Lucas has driven this 3-year win streak. He's a senior, and he's placed very well in the previously as well. So I think he plays a big role on their cross-country team.
Well, now, I think it's time. Let's get into a little bit more of the water sports, especially with water polo. Occidental College beat Cal Lutheran for the first time in water polo since 2008.
That's 15 years.
15 years. And I mean, they played against Cal Lutheran on Wednesday.
Yep.
It was a back-and-forth game practically the entire time. Both teams played on another level of excellency, and they defeated the Tigers in overtime. This is something that, I mean, they won, but it's the entire time the audience is on the edge of their seat.
On their toes.
On their toes, because I don't blame them. Occidental, the 15 years, like what you were saying, they want to take that win.
Right.
And the final score was 9-6, Occidental, obviously in the lead. But let's talk a little bit about the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Christian Galloway was the first one to score, really starting off the game strong, but really back and forth the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams knew what they were doing. Cal Lutheran did not want to stop that streak. They wanted to make that 16 years. I don't blame them. I would too if I were them.
Right.
But ultimately, Occidental knew what they wanted. They knew that they had to get that extra push no matter what they had to do. And with that, the Kador Sabar, I might be mispronouncing his name, was the one who led Cal Lutheran with 3 goals. Ultimately, he was the star of the game, even though it wasn't Occidental in specific.
We can hand it to him.
Exactly. He was really the star player.
Yeah.
He was the one making those goals. He was the one achieving those passes. Right. And although it ended up with a lose, I feel like a lot can be said about that skill set.
Yeah.
And although Occidental did end up ending that 15-year streak, what can be said about them? Are they going to win next year? What do you think about that, Amelia?
Who knows? I'm not sure. We may keep it consistent with another Oxy win. And, I really think we can also hand it on the opposite side to Aiden Cawley from Chicago on Oxy. He's helped score over 2 assists.
Wow.
The first and the second goal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like overall, both teams played excellently on another level, ultimately, but Occidental did take that win in overtime.
Oh, yeah.
And they probably left feeling amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would too, being like, yes.
Yep, I agree.
That win from
Definitely
them.
a great team effort. Again, the 3 assists from Cawley and then so many different other scorers that just helped make the game what it was and end that 15-year win streak. I still can't believe it. And then it was the Caltech Beavers competing against Pomona Pitzer and the Division I California Baptist at their afternoon tri-meet last Saturday. Both the women and men's teams showed that their early season training has paid off as a number of Caltech's athletes produced top 5 finishes and combined for 17 total program top 10 performances.
Before we get into it, let me just say one thing. This is Caltech we're talking
I know.
about. This is not a normal university. This is one of the best technology, if not one of the most competitive universities to be admitted to in the country, maybe even the world. And the fact that these athletes performed at such an exceptional level while maintaining a rigorous academic schedule really shows their student-athlete skill set. But
however, with the results I'm about to tell you, keep in mind this is against Division I California Baptist. Mm-hmm. So they really pulled through this meet and proved themselves. So we had arguably impressive performances from the Beavers, which was in the women's 100-yard breaststroke. 2 freshmen, get this, 18, 19 years old. Charisse Wong had a total of 110.86, and then Grace Davis came in soon after at 111.18.
Wow.
And they both put their names 5th and 6th all time in the program records books.
Wow.
Take a
and
second.
They're freshmen.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, well, you were saying 18, 19 years old.
Right.
And they're already playing at an exceptional level. I want to see them when they're 21, 22, when they're seniors. They're going to be unstoppable.
Immense growth.
They're so new, especially to a university level of playing this sport, that by the time they're what, 4 years into it? Oh my gosh. They're going to be
insurmountable. Yeah.
Insurmountable. I love that word.
Agree.
Exactly.
Me too. And then get this. I'm not even done. We had 3 top 10 performances in the women's 200-yard breaststroke. Yet another freshman, Karen Zhu, secured the number 6 spot in program history with a time of 2:33.51.
Oh my God.
I know.
And they're all freshmen.
Yeah. 3 freshmen. And then Wong and Davis shine through yet again. Davis's time of 2:34.66 landed her at 7th in the program record books, and then Wong's time of 2:37.5 landed her at 9th.
Oh my
Again,
God. Overall?
these are freshmen. Yeah. In the program history books.
I mean, of course, like this isn't like first place, second place, third place, but considering that these athletes are still so young,
They're bound to get there.
they're already like they're rounding the corner of excellency by the time
It's
what I was saying,
amazing.
they're juniors, seniors,
Right.
they're going to be up there getting those medals, getting those titles, even though they're already getting titles.
Yeah.
Like this is something that you don't see every single day, and especially coming
definitely
from
not.
what I was saying previously, a university like Caltech.
Yeah.
Hello. I want to have a conversation with these
I know.
girls. This
Yeah.
is crazy.
Go Beavers. Amazing
Go
performance
Beavers.
last Saturday. Amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in to our very first SCIAC weekly recap. We hope to see you again next week. Make sure to also tune in around 6:40 tonight to watch the Chapman Panthers take on the Lutheran Leopards in their very last game before the SCIAC playoffs. This has been Amelia Howell.
This has been Sophia Youngs.
And we're so excited to see you next time.